we sit here. Honestly, the longer that we sit here,
The
the longer that this doesn't happen.
Talk about,
I know. Well, it's like I'm trying to find lip gloss. Can we just for 1 second? Can I do this? Can I do? Does this happen?
I should pull because
Can you-
everybody's like, "What are you talking about?" Does anybody
So
else have
I'm
this problem?
trying to find lip gloss. So I got earbuds. I got a wallet. I probably will pull out a tampon. I have receipts of many different varieties. I have tickets for tonight's dance.
Which, by the way, if you
I have
nothing
some
to do
gum.
tonight
I
in
have
Tavistock. You should be going down to the arena.
More receipts,
to
but
the dance
still,
down there.
I have no lip gloss. So that's just what does your purse look like? What's in your purse? Okay.
I don't
so,
have tampons in my purse.
anyways. Oh.
Somebody help us with our setup.
So
Holy
we've only had
Jesus.
one of these.
It's just because...
Don't rock the table.
No, we cannot do that.
We're good. We're good. Okay.
I
I
swear to Oh my God, let's clear all Jesse's shit out of the
I
way
did
here.
find the lip gloss at the bottom of my purse, amongst many other things, but that's not the point. The point is, here we are. Happy Saturday. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. She didn't like my peach. These are like all the craze right now. Everybody loves these sugar-free coolers. And this freaking peach one, it just makes, it tastes like summer. That's all I can say. It just tastes
Which
like
I didn't
summer.
find lovely, but this is, what is this, lemon?
The neutral is lemon. Yeah. I think there's a lime one too, but either way.
Yeah.
What's
Yes.
your what are you drinking? Is
What
anybody
is
anybody drinking?
Yes.
Is it too
what?
early?
No.
Well, it's
5
after
4
noon.
o'clock.
It's a freaking Saturday for
Yeah.
crying out loud.
So before we forget, because we do every time,
Every time.
if you know of anybody that, or just
If you find value,
in what we're
if
doing
you
here,
like our videos,
like and share our videos.
Yeah.
Because we,
our followers are growing every day.
yeah.
It is. It's exciting. We see like our little community growing, and there's people interacting with us. Like you went out just the other day, didn't you? And somebody was like, "Oh, I see your videos." And,
Oh, yes.
And I get people that message me now, and they're like, "Oh, you know what? I'd like you to talk about this." And
Yeah.
we love that.
Yeah.
Like I do. I love that people are interacting with the things that we talk about, or even our Insta stories. People are starting to participate more in our polls. I had a poll this week actually asking if that made me a bad mom because I was having like a fuck it Friday and let them put whatever they want in their lunches, and 2 people said yes, I was a bad mom. So that's good. That's what we want.
Awesome. We're all on the same page.
We want to create conversation, so
Yes.
that's fine.
Yes, I
I think one of them was a mistake, but that's okay.
we got the point.
That's
Yeah.
okay. It's
Yes.
fine.
Yes.
I try my best.
That's all you can do.
I try my best.
I actually felt good today because I took my kids to an outdoor
She's
rink.
super mom.
So I
Weekend
took them
plans.
skating. Yes. What do you like? Anyway, took them to the rink. There was another mom there that was like straight up, like just trying to get her kids together, dropping bombs, and it was nice. I was like, yes,
Right?
We're all
I feel
the
like
same.
we're on the same page.
Yes. So
I know it was a mistake. I'm just there was 2 other people other than you that actually said yes to me being a bad mom, and I can take it. Hey, if we're gonna put ourselves out there like this on this sort of a platform, we're gonna expect the feedback, and I
Nobody's
can take
perfect.
anything that you can throw at me. Trust
Right.
me.
Oh shit! Here we go.
We're about to get real today. Let me tell you.
So something that we wanted to chat about, which I'm sure everybody is aware of, the hot topic these days is this Momo thing.
Are
Whatever
you
wanna
live in
call
your
it.
own Instagram?
Me? Why?
Are you in the Midlife Moms, or are you in your own?
What is this?
I'm just, you're in Instagram, but I think that you're in your own Instagram. Just if we're, give me a thumbs up if this is actually the Midlife Moms page for Instagram, or if this is Mandy's private Instagram account.
Oh, we're getting hearts.
She is in her personal Instagram.
That's nice. That's nice. So, what are we gonna do about this?
Well, we're just gonna, you guys on Facebook, wait
Yeah, we're gonna
2
flip
seconds.
it over.
We'll be right back. We'll be right back. We're gonna share that. Then we're gonna go to Midlife Moms. It's
Here we
fine.
are. We're here. We're not.
We're here.
perfect.
Don't you go anywhere.
No,
Don't you
we're
go
perfect.
anywhere. We got people
I got
watching.
2 Instagrams. That's right.
we
Don't judge me.
okay.
Here we go.
So someday we will have people that do this for us, so that we don't make mistakes.
No.
like that. That's not a mistake, but
Meant to do
it's
that.
little
I'm just trying to
details
get
like
some
that.
Followers over there on my own personal.
I was too
so.
busy rooting through my
I don't
purse
even know how
looking for
you
lip
noticed
gloss.
that. Like,
because
I'm
people
so-
that were commenting and
Oh,
liking,
were
I was like,
hey,
I haven't seen you before.
No. And
It's fine.
so I am
Hi.
like the least technical person you're ever going to meet. So
She's not lying.
I'm not. So I don't even
That's okay.
fully admit that.
It's all good. So, anyways, go back to what you were saying. It's
So
a hot topic.
we wanted to talk about this Momo challenge, and lots of people have been talking about it. And we wanted to know what you think about it, how you're dealing with it. I had never heard of this Momo thing before. When was it? Thursday that the kids came home from school and were talking about it. And now it's all that you hear about. So how have you been dealing with that? Because there's been lots of mixed reviews on, other Facebook platforms where...
Or have you had it pop up on something that your kids have been watching?
Yeah,
Because I think is that how it comes up?
I don't know. As far as the teacher told my daughter was that it was through Fortnite, Roadblocks, and whatever it's called.
YouTube.
And YouTube.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you have actually experienced it or if you're just hearing about it like from this whole whatever happened on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you think? My kids are, one of my children is very upset about it. We didn't really have a lot of time. It seemed to happen really quickly. Like Thursday they came home and they already knew. I saw it the day before, I think on Facebook it popped up, and then didn't really pay any attention to it until the kids came home from school. My youngest, who is in grade 3, I guess was crying at school when somebody told her about it. It got to the point where the teacher needed to sit down with all the kids and explain that it wasn't real, that kind of thing. And we didn't really have a choice whether to talk about it.
Yeah, like I had heard about it on the news. Actually, it was on the supper time or like the evening news on Wednesday night. And I asked the kids, I was like, have you ever heard about this? Neither of them knew what I was talking about. They had not heard or seen anything about it. And then Thursday they came home from school and they were like, oh, okay. So today it was like the principal made an announcement and teachers were talking about it. The kids were all talking about it. So it officially hit the media in the school on Thursday. And it became sort of like a topic of conversation amongst everybody.
Yeah, and I don't know if other schools handle it differently, because I ran into a mom today who said that her kids, there was a note sent home through the region the Waterloo had sort of sent something out talking about it. I don't know what that meant, but now what she had decided to do, which maybe it's the same thing you thought, was she chose to sit down with her kids and show them the picture and talk to them before they saw it
Through
from
somebody else.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, looking back, that was probably a good idea because...
Because why?
Well, so what happened with us was we decided to just, we didn't show them the picture. They didn't want to see the picture. So we chose to just kind of ignore it. Mm-hmm. Last night we were out at a hockey game, and an older child took it upon herself to just walk up to my daughter and say, hey, look at this. And it was the picture. She came over to me shivering, so scared, crying. She was supposed to have a sleepover that night, wouldn't go to the sleepover, slept with me, following me around the house now.
Yeah.
Scared.
Just created panic in her.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was upsetting. So I did actually approach the child that had showed her the picture just to let her know that she shouldn't be showing that to any children, and that mine was terrified, and that I had assumed that the school had talked to them about,
how to deal with it.
I felt like it was done maliciously. It wasn't a, hey, do you want to see this picture? It was a, here's the picture.
Have a look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so that's, now the thing with this is that it's not it's a tricky thing, because there's no right or wrong. We kind of know morally right or wrong, but it's not like a law or a rule.
Yeah.
So,
well, I guess you just, I kind of hope my kids would never do that.
No,
because
exactly.
If they did, there would be severe consequences.
right.
In a situation like that where you have the choice as a child, knowing what that could do to a younger kid, and you can not do anything, or B, be a dick and show a young kid that picture to try and terrify them.
Right. Which is the way I took it, because it wasn't like, hey, do you want to see this picture? Or have you seen it? Was a, hey, look at this. And that was it.
Yeah.
So now, how would you handle that situation? Because my whole dilemma here is, because I told this child that I was going to talk to her. Actually, my first thing.
Oh, she tuned in late. So we're talking about this Momo. Momo picture that's floating around on the internet. And yes, it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're just kind of chatting about how you're dealing with that, because we had seen on other platforms, it's a hot topic and lots of moms are talking about how you're dealing with it. So
yeah, we didn't really deal with it. Like, my kids are older than yours, right? So mine's 13 and 10, and you have 10 and 8. So you have that younger one that is a little more susceptible. My 13-year-old immediately Googled it.
yeah.
Like, went online, looked it up, and was like, oh, yeah. And so we talked about it because he had seen the picture and my daughter seen it and kind of was like, oh, like, that's a morbid looking creature. But it didn't, and that was it. It didn't create any more than that reaction in our house. And we talked about the fact that, you know, these things are fictional and it's not real and it's just a picture that you're seeing and it can't harm you. And that's where it was left. And some kids, like, you know, have trouble seeing past that fear in their mind, and they can't. That's normal for a kid. Like, God, I was terrified as a child because a couple of girls that I hung out with told me about Bloody Mary, and I was like, fuck, I can't go to the bathroom alone until I'm 25, for Christ's sakes.
Well,
so I get it. These things happen in life. They do happen. I think the point of this is, like, you know, what would you do if your 8-year-old had a child that was a few years senior to them come up and say, like, here you go, there's the picture,
right?
And it scared the life out of your kid. How do you deal with that?
Right.
Do you approach that child? Do you approach the parents? Do you, like, what do you do?
So my first instinct was
the reaction?
Approach the child, let her know that what she's doing is wrong. Don't do it to anybody else. You know, you should know better.
Yeah.
And then the response that I got caused me to then say, I'm going to be contacting the principal because you should have been told this at school that it wasn't okay. And then the next reaction caused me to say, okay, I'm going to contact your parents. So I gave myself, which I do believe in, like the 24-hour rule. So I gave myself some time.
It's almost 24 hours.
It's almost been 24 hours. And I haven't done anything yet, but my intention is to contact the parent, just to let them know that there was I had some communications with your child, and this is what happened. Do with it what you will. I won't contact the school. It's outside of the school.
Yeah.
And hopefully the parents can handle
deal with it
that way.
Yeah. But, like, if you know, as a parent, I know that I witnessed a situation happen at the park. I had my kids and the neighbor kids at the park a few years ago, and there was a situation that happened. And it was something worthy of me saying something. I approached the child, like, without a doubt, because harm was being inflicted on somebody else. And I yelled at that kid. I will not apologize for that.
Yeah.
But I immediately, you know, took the actions of contacting the parents, saying, you know what, this is what happened. This is how I dealt with it. Like, would you do that if you witnessed something like that happening? If you witnessed a child harming somebody else, not your child, but you're there and you see it and you know it's not right. You're an adult. Like, do you say something to that kid? Like, how do you deal with this? How do you diffuse that situation?
I think that I think it's always good to intervene and stop whatever's happening. And if you feel fit to contact the parents, I mean, I would want to know.
Hell to the yes.
Yeah. I mean, I would want to know if my kid was being a little shit stained.
You're right.
And if they were doing something to somebody else, then I would hope a more responsible, mature adult would intervene, because I don't want my kid harming or making anybody feel. And you know what? I used this experience that we had last night to just say, like, this is an example of what I would consider bullying, and you don't want to make another kid, like, look at how you felt in that situation. Just know that you don't want to cause that on anybody else.
Yeah.
Like, you would never do
Oh,
that.
see, you took that the calm way. See, when my kids got home and I heard about that, I said to I'm like, if you ever do something like that,
Right.
oh my God. Like, I went a little ragey. I'm like, no, you don't do that. That's awful. Why would
Yeah.
you ever do that? I don't even like, there was no calmness. I get a little like over the top with that stuff. Like, I hear about things that happen at school or whatever, and it's more or less to my 13-year-old. I'm like, I swear to God, you ever do something like that? Like, I raised you better. You
Yeah.
know better than that. And he's like, Mom, I wouldn't do that stuff.
No, and I
But
think
it's
I just
like-
play on the emotions. Like, how did that make you feel? You don't want to cause that on anybody else. So
I think that's a really great way to handle it. I would appreciate that as a parent as well. Yep. So, like, yeah, I know the same thing. If my kid was out doing something somewhere, like at the park or out in public at the arena, Tim Hortons, they hang out. Like, last night after the Braves game, Max texts me and says, I'm going to Tim Hortons with my friends. He's 13 now. This is what they do. But I've also been in Tim Hortons once at night where there's a whole group of kids hanging out, and there was like food being thrown around the restaurant.
Yeah.
They were loud. There was people trying to sit in there and have coffee that left because the group of kids that were in there were being like kind of out of control. And that night I chose to just leave because it was just me and one other girl there, and there was like 12 kids. So that was kind of like, I wasn't going to approach 12 kids and say, come on. Nope.
Yeah.
I chose to leave that night. But they say that to Max. I'm like, when you're out in public, my dad always used to tell this to me. I've got eyes everywhere in this town.
Yeah.
There's always somebody watching that knows who you belong to,
especially in a small town.
right? That is the
Yes.
joys of the small
100%.
town.
Yeah.
Is that definitely somebody knows that you're my kid.
Yes. No.
You ain't getting away with
No.
nothing.
No.
Sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I definitely, I want to lay that out there. If anybody ever sees my kids do anything, please approach me.
Mm-hmm.
Please. And if they're doing something that needs to be addressed at the time, you
Yeah.
got a free pass.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. And definitely
takes a
let
village.
the parent know. It certainly
It
does.
takes a village.
Yes. Yes, exactly. So overall, we just want to know how are you handling this? What are you doing for your kids? Are you talking to them? Are you just
Yeah.
kind of letting it? I think the key would be don't make a big deal about it. It's kind of hard. I think it was kind of too late because my kids
Yeah.
came home
It
from
happened
school. It
very
was already
quickly.
a big deal.
Yeah.
So I kind of was like, ooh, I don't like. It's already a big deal. What do
Yeah.
you do?
You didn't
But-
really have a choice.
No, and to be honest, my kids really haven't been on the computer ever since. So I'm taking advantage of this because they do spend quite a bit of time on the computer.
Online.
So yeah, I'm happy with the fact that it's cut back that, but
Because they're afraid? Out of fear? That's
out
why
of
they're
fear.
staying off it?
Yeah, they're wanting to make sure, is this somewhere where this thing is going to pop up? It's
Yeah.
just because apparently it just pops up as they're playing something. So I don't know. But anyways, it's been out there as a hot topic, so we want to know what you're
Yeah.
doing. So please share, write in the comments so that other people can see. Because like I said,
Yeah.
over on Facebook, on another town's community page, there's some discussions happening.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, on Stratford too. Like you've
Yeah.
seen it on the Baden page. It
Yeah.
was on the Stratford page this morning. There's like big conversations happening about, was it appropriate for the schools to deal with this before the parents got a chance to? Should it been dealt with differently? Should a letter just have been sent home from the school rather than an announcement being made? There's no right or wrong.
No.
Like there was nothing that was going to suit every family, so
No.
they had to deal with it in some way, and that's the way they chose to deal with it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
God, these are the problems we have to friggin' deal with our kids. When we were kids, we didn't have this to worry about. Like,
No.
we didn't have stuff like this popping up. It was more or less the things that happened out on the playground. It
I'm
was
thinking about,
who was
like-
watching me act like an asshole uptown.
But
right?
even stuff like just having access to their phones and stuff like at nighttime.
Oh,
I remember being like, you'd be all like quiet on the phone.
On
which
your
was attached-
landline.
Which
your,
is attached to the wall.
Your landline that
and
your
you're
parents
just waiting.
could pick
All
up.
of a sudden you hear this click click and your freaking parents on the other like, holy, that's a, I'm going to say a cock block. What? It's a buzzkill.
It
when
is.
your parents pick
yes.
up the phone, you're like,
you
"God
definitely had to
damn."
watch your words a little more.
And if you're
Now-
older than 40 or so, maybe at the party line. How about that? Your neighbor picks up the phone.
your neighbor down the road.
Yeah.
And it was a lot less discreet back then because I don't know that you knew when they picked up.
No.
At least in your own house, you would hear that. Oh, we got
Holy
a child
jumping.
creeping in on us
my
here.
God.
Yeah. Oh, you also mentioned that the other day about like monitoring. Do you make your kids, do you like not hover, do you make them be in the same room as you while they're on their devices so that you can monitor what sites they're seeing? Or do you check what their history is?
Yeah.
I know I do.
I don't.
I do.
will
Oh
now.
my shit!
It
I go
makes
through my
perfect
kids.
sense.
I go through his Instagram conversations because I want to know what he knows that I do it. It's like,
And
you
that's
want to
what-
have social media at 13?
Yeah.
This is what's going to happen.
And that came up on somewhere when on the anti-bullying day they were talking about if your kid wants Instagram, if they want Facebook or whatever,
Yep.
the parent should be able to have the passwords.
That's right.
So that like maybe your kid's being bullied on those platforms and you have no idea. They
Yep.
don't want to tell you. So if you have access, at least you can be aware of it,
yeah.
you know, or if they're bullying somebody else, you know?
Yeah.
So-
No, that's something that I'm not wavering on that.
No.
I need to be able to see what is going on for now, at least until I feel like he's a pretty responsible kid and I'm not too concerned about what he's sending or being sent.
Right.
But I definitely am going to keep an eye on that because,
Yeah.
well, because I'm the mom and
Just
that's
because
my
you're the mom
job.
and that's what you do.
That's
so.
what I get to do.
That's right.
Okay.
So like we said, like and share our
Share,
video.
share.
As much as you can because
Share the love.
I know there's people out there that want to know.
And I feel like this is going to create a conversation today. Once people jump on and watch this replay, let us know if you're on here for the live or if you're catching the replay after. And we want to know, have you had a situation with this? How have you dealt with it? And what your opinion is on how things were dealt with throughout the schools.
Right. All right.
Happy
Perfect.
Saturday.
Yes.
We'll
Enjoy
see
the
y'all
rest of your
soon.
weekend.